Everyone knows Vertigo as Hitchcock's masterpiece, but there's one scene that secretly changed how movies are made forever. Most people missed it completely. This wasn't the famous staircase moment or the dream sequence. It was something much more subtle, something that every major director copied for the next 60 years. Spielberg used it in Jaws. Scorsese put it in Goodfellas. Even Marvel movies rely on this technique today, yet film schools barely mention it. Today we reveal what you missed: Alfred Hitchcock's fascination with the French writing duo Buot and Narco started with a crushing disappointment that would change his career. In the early 1950s, he tried hard to buy the rights to their thriller, Selkinet, She Who Was No More. He believed it was the perfect story for his style of exploring guilt, deception, and murder, but he lost the bidding war to French director Gore Clouzot. Clouzot turned the book into Le Diabolik in 1955, a film many still consider one of the most terrifying ever made. For Hitchcock, the loss was more than professional. He had built his name on getting the best material and losing to a European rival. Cut deep, the setback became the spark that pushed him to go after the duo's next work with an intensity he had never shown before. His chance came sooner than anyone expected. In 1954, Paramount Pictures commissioned a synopsis of Buot and Narjac's novel D'Entrée to Sierra Leone in Leone's years before the book was even translated into English. The English version, called The Living and the Dead, wouldn't appear until 1956. Yet Hitchcock had already begun shaping the project based only on summaries. Paramount poured money into the idea without even waiting for the translation, a rare gamble at the time. The move showed how much faith the studio placed in Hitchcock's instincts. François Truffaut later said the novel had been written especially for Hitchcock, though Narjak denied this. Still, the speed and certainty with which Hitchcock got the rights became part of his legend. The story's themes were a perfect match for Hitchcock's own past. During World War II, he had worked with British intelligence making propaganda films and learning about psychological warfare and surveillance. The idea of secretly watching someone and questioning their true identity came directly from what he had seen during the war. The constant observation, the hidden truths, and the toll it took on the human mind all fed into Vertigo. Scotty Ferguson's obsession with watching Meline mirrored both the techniques Hitchcock had studied and the way he directed his actors. He was known for controlling every movement and detail, shaping them into the image he wanted, just as Scotty tried to reshape Judy into Meline. This connection grew even stronger when Hitchcock faced a major casting change. His chosen actress Vera Miles was under contract to him and had been carefully prepared for the demanding double role. She had starred in The Wrong Man in 1956 and appeared in his television series Alfred Hitchcock Presents. By November of that year, she was already doing makeup and hairstyle tests, and costume designer Edith Head was working on her wardrobe. Miles had even posed for the painting of Carlotta used in the museum scenes. But in March 1957, Hitchcock, recovering from gallbladder surgery, got the news that changed everything. Miles told him she was pregnant. It was her third pregnancy with her husband Gordon Scott, best known as Tarzan. Hitchcock felt betrayed and claimed the decision ruined what he called her chance to become a great star. He was so angry that even 20 years later he was still talking about the ingratitude, saying her departure had cost him several hundred thousand in production delays and casting changes. To save the project, Hitchcock turned to Harry Kahn, the powerful head of Columbia Pictures, and secured Kim Novak. The deal was extraordinary. For 1957, Columbia received $250,000 for lending Novak to Paramount, even though she herself was making only $1,250. A week at Columbia, the difference was staggering, almost $200 times her weekly pay. Despite the cost, Hitchcock was so sure she was right for the part that he didn't even ask her to take a screen test. For Columbia, the money was too good to refuse, even though Kahn reportedly disliked the script, but Novak was not willing to be used so easily. She loved the role, but when she saw Columbia taking $250,000, while she was earning only $1,250 a week, she refused to show up to set. It was a bold move for a young actress. In 1957, when fighting the studio system could destroy a career, she hired new agents and demanded a fairer deal. Harry Kahn suspended her in retaliation, but with pressure from Paramount and Hitchcock's schedule, he eventually gave in. Novak's salary was raised to $3,000 a week, more than double what she had been making. She later told reporters, "I don't like to have anyone take advantage of me." Her stand was a sign of change in Hollywood, where stars were starting to push back against the old studio system. Even after the contract fight, Novak faced another battle, this time over her appearance. She told Edith Head that she didn't wear suits, she didn't wear gray, and she didn't wear black pumps. When he passed that message along, Hitchcock made it clear he didn't care what Novak preferred as long as she wore a gray suit. He had pictured the exact look long before production, and nothing would change his mind. Edith Head later admitted it was one of the hardest assignments of her career, saying that dressing Novak for the film tested all her skill in psychology. Novak hated the outfit and told Hitchcock directly, but he insisted it was right for the role. He wanted her to feel uncomfortable in Meline's carefully constructed identity. Later, Novak admitted he had been right. She said, "As Meline, it didn't feel right, and that's what was right about it. The gray suit, unusual for a